watching Dr. Phil and getting an insight on Summer Wells, you know, we're paying close attention to every piece of words that are coming out of their mouth. We're paying attention to their body language. We're paying attention to every little detail. We're going back. We're fast forwarding forward. We're rewinding back. And so go ahead and shoot that. So Don Wells on here says the first thing he thought of when he realized his daughter was missing is that she was abducted. That was his very first thought. My question is with that, all that greenery, all that trees, all that whole vast land, your first inclination would be that she was abducted? Not that she was lost. Not that she went out and played and fell asleep somewhere, you know, in a tree, something. Your first thought was she was abducted. And he says that multiple times, that that's his first thought, is that she was abducted. My question is that would have been my first thought, first and foremost. Secondly, why would that have been his first thought? Was he threatened by somebody that he owed money to, that if he didn't pony up, something would happen to his family? If he didn't owe any money, why would that be his first thought? The wife, Candus, has failed and actually got up out of the interrogation with the human lie detectors. The two gentlemen that were there, you know, reading body language and everything else like that, which was a little suspicious because, you know, you're here to try to find answers for your daughter. And especially if you think she was abducted, your first thing would be, you know, selflessness. You're not worried about yourself. You throw everything on the table to save your child. And somebody asks a tough question and you break down and get up and don't want to talk about it and take your microphone off. This is not conduct of people that had nothing to do or don't know anything. Secondly, it was apparent that Don Wells may have been at work during the time. So why is the wife half, Candus, so upset about stuff? To me, just this little bit I've previewed thus far, I believe she knows a hell of a lot more than she's saying she knows. I think Don now knows that she may have been involved, and that's why he's having some body language, eye blinking pattern issues. But if he was not there at the time she disappeared, I think the mom knows exactly what happened to Summer Wells.
Good morning, all. While we're dealing with some technical difficulties on the other video that I was going to show, I guess I'll just come live. Sorry, I look like crap. I just woke up. I got some new information as I woke up this morning, new information. So as many of you guys know, we are digging into the entire Summer Wells case. We are interviewing people. We actually went out and, you know, looked for areas that we were provided by, you know, followers. You guys have been monitoring this case from the beginning. You guys are sending us information, and we were in Tennessee. Sorry, my hair looks like crap. Let me try to. Good morning. I wanted coffee, but I realized coffee was not quite ready yet. As you know, it's 6 o'clock in the morning here in the beautiful state of Florida. I woke up about a half hour ago. I'm still half asleep. So this is my caffeine for right now. We just, you know, we're taking a deep dive. We're tearing the lives of these people apart publicly because we feel after our investigation that, you know, I mean, I should say it like this. we have, we all had our ideas of what happened before we went to Tennessee. Some of those things, have changed. So I always thought, because I deal with domestics all the time, and most of the time, um, it is somebody that they love that has harmed them. Okay. It's very rare that it's some stranger off the side of the road that decided to take these people, off this earth or and away from their families. So that's just our experience in most cases. My personal experience was, I thought something nefarious happened to Summer by her father at first. And then when I realized he was at work, I started digging in and looked at where she was, what she was doing during the days and hours and times of the disappearance of Summer Wells. 95% of the time to 99% of the time, it's usually the last person that has seen the person alive that had something to do with the person's disappearance and or death. So that is just the reality. Okay, that's statistics. That's not Andrew made this stuff up and that's the way it is. This is statistically proven, from around the country and around the world. Statistics, okay? People don't understand what statistics are. I mean, here, let me just look up what the definition of statistics is. Statistics definition. This is what it means. The practice or science of collecting and analyzing numerical data in large quantities, especially for the purpose of inferring propositions in a whole from those in a representative sample. Okay, that is what statistic means. So based upon, a collection of all this information of cases just like this, it is statistically told that the last person that saw the person that disappeared alive usually has something to do with it. So statistically, when I looked back and found out that Candus was the only, think about it, Candus was the only person, Candus was alone with Summer, right? There was only 3 people with Summer that day, or 2 other people with Summer that day, right? A 15-year-old boy and Candus. Candus dropped the 15-year-old boy. He was never the same again. She dropped him off at 2:30 in the afternoon. He was never the same again. Never. Something happened down at that water hole. We know that that Summer went underwater. We know she went underwater. Right? How long was she under? It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter how long a person is underwater. They can be underwater 5 seconds. It matters about how much water gets in their lungs. That's the only difference. It doesn't matter. You can be underwater for 5 seconds and fill your lungs up with water. It doesn't matter. You can be under there for a minute and never fill your lungs up with water. So, anyways, let's talk about Candus. So, as you know, Jonathan Lee Riches, as you know, on Molly Go Lightly, he's involved in the case. He's he's part of the team. There's 4 people part of this team. It's Jonathan Lee Riches, Chronicles of Olivia, Molly Go Lightly, and of course me. And Jonathan is our investigator. He does very good. He's been an investigative journalist for many years. He's very good at what he does. He reaches out to people. He has a way of speaking to them, especially by text and messenger, to really open them up and ask them questions and keep them talking and, find answers. And believe it or not, people talk to him. So one of the things before we get into Candus that he reached out to Don Wells' boss. And I can't remember the gentleman's name. I'm sure it's probably here in our chat. Let me see if I can find it. And Olivia's good too. I mean, she's really good about getting people to open up on text and messenger and stuff of that nature. And all this other stuff. But let me see if I can find him. Tucker, is that it? Richard Tucker. Richard Tucker looks like a really decent guy. Looks like he's got a beautiful wife. Normal guy. Doesn't want all the drama. Richard Tucker, and he owns Tucker Drywall in that area. He lives. I'm not going to go through his stuff. I don't want to dox him or anything like that. That's not my intention. And quite frankly, when we were talking about cracking cases and Cam and Allie, I wasn't trying to dox them either. I wasn't trying to. I didn't put their address. I didn't put their phone number out. I didn't do anything like that. But we did discuss, the location of where they lived, what county and state they lived in. But that was for the purpose. I was just reading. I had just gotten his criminal background check, and so I was just reading off there. I didn't even realize what I was doing. I typically don't do that, but apparently some people consider that doxing. I don't consider that doxing. I consider doxing when I put out specific addresses, phone numbers, and email addresses. That's what I consider doxing. So, but whatever. To each their own. To each their own. So Jonathan also reached out to him. Believe it or not, the gentleman responded to him, and he did pointedly ask him, after this I guess back and forth with this gentleman, he did ask him, was Don Wells working at the time? Did he have a job that day? Working at the time that Summer went missing. The owner refused to answer that question and said, "I've worked with the FBI." The FBI, as you guys were watching on Marissa's channel last night, Molly Go Lightly, he was talking about this conversation he was having with Don Wells' boss, the gentleman that's his employer. I don't know if he's a subcontractor for this employer and works on his own, or if he actually is an employee for this gentleman. I do know that, Tucker Drywall is employing, a criminal. Don Wells, let's be honest, is a habitual criminal across multiple states the last 30 years, a felon that's not even allowed to possess a firearm, and was caught with a black powder gun in his truck. And I want to know, these are what they can arrest Don right now. Don's hanging out with felons. He had that crazy lunatic Kitty from Texas. And, that cracking cases gentleman from wherever he's from. I don't even remember where he's from. I have to look that criminal thing, that his background check up again. But either way, he's on probation right now. And he's going to court for another DUI. He could be charged with DUI. The statutes of limitations for the DUI from the domestic with Candus is still up for grabs. The statute of limitations hasn't gone away for that. The statute of limitations for him having a firearm by a convicted felon in his truck hasn't gone away, and his hanging out with felons while on probation. And as far as Cam, shits and giggles, yes, Cam has multiple arrests for drugs, drug paraphernalia, multiple for driving without a license and license revocations. I don't even know if he has a valid license right now. I can tell you, he's been vocal about being a recovering addict. I applaud him for that. But I would never, after only being sober for 3 years, put myself in a position of hanging out with somebody that is knowingly smoking meth and knowingly smoking crack cocaine and marijuana. That is what's going on at the top of that hill. So, who's Cam? Cam is cracking cases. They were out there with us. They weren't out there with us. They were out there protecting the Wells. It seems to me that all the felons are flocking to the Wells family, the Wells compound, the Dirty Wells property, to provide them some kind of protection and, interfere and intimidate people actually trying to find Summer, which makes you wonder why, right? What's their true intentions here? Doesn't seem like their intentions are to really truly find where Summer is at. Summer, I can guarantee, probably I would put my my reputation on the line to say about 95% she is completely gone. She's dead. Every single day that goes by, that percentage keeps going further up. There's going to be one day I'm going to come back here and tell you guys that she's gone. You know, I tell you that now, she's gone, but still, I still try to have some hope that she's found alive. I really do. But good morning, everybody. Yes, I just woke up myself. Actually, it's funny because I woke up and I got my phone. You know, every morning I wake up around 5 o'clock every morning. It doesn't matter what time I go to sleep. I can go to sleep at midnight. My butt is up at 5 o'clock in the morning. My internal clock sucks. My internal clock sucks. Like I want to sleep in sometimes and I can't. So I grab my phone. You know, I start looking and seeing what's going on, and there were a lot of text messages that came in last night after I went to bed, because I literally, as soon as Molly Go Lightly show ended, I went to bed. I did have a couple cocktails, so that helped me fall asleep a lot easier. I was having some margaritas while I was on the live with her. Just two margaritas, but it was enough to relax me, because many of you guys, if you guys have been watching me, I'm really stressed out. Today's the day the car goes into the shop. It goes in at 9 a.m. And thank God the shop is literally like right across the street. And, you know, the people are really nice. They were highly recommended by a gentleman that I trust, God, I can't even talk this morning, Glenn Gibellina. And he is one person I trust. If he tells me that these people are good people, I believe these people are good people. That man knows good people. So, and to find a good people and a mechanic all in one is, you know, like this huge deal. Like I'm really excited that this will be a really good partnership with a decent mechanic. My last mechanic blew my engine in my car. That's why I even have this SUV. And then, of course, you know, we don't know. Everybody's implying that, you know, Kitty did something nefarious to my vehicle while I was up there. It is possible that happened. However, I did review the video that everybody is referring to, and the cars that he had in his video were not our vehicles. So I'm kind of just hoping that, you know, that maybe just the long drive and the buildup of the carbon in the system might have just did the catalytic converter in. You know, I really don't know. The check engine light didn't go on one time. It was a wonderful ride all the way to Tennessee. And I guess the second day that we were there, I didn't hear Mom tell me that the check engine light was on, which most of the time the check engine light doesn't bother me, because it's, you know, I have a lot of sensors in the vehicle. These newer cars have sensors all over them, like my ABS brakes sensor is on, and God knows why. I mean, it hasn't affected the brake system. I'm still able to stop the car. It may have to do with one of the thingies, you know, the rotors needing to be shaved down, because you can feel a little bit of vibration when you hit the brakes. So nothing major, you know. And my check engine light comes on every now and then, and it says the O2 sensor. So as the reading for it. So I figured, yeah, it's an O2 sensor. It comes on, it goes off. You know, it seems like it comes on when I'm going, you know, a distance away. But I wasn't driving the car. I think if I was driving the car, I would have picked up on that a lot quicker. You know, I don't know if when I get another car, I don't know if I will actually be getting like a brand new car. Those brand new cars with their computer system makes it next to impossible for me to do any of my own maintenance on it. And I don't like that. I think everybody should be able to have a vehicle, and if they so choose to do work on it, they should be able to do their own work. Me personally, I don't think it should be harder to change a light, you know, a headlight out than it is your brakes. And right now, these new cars, you got to take the whole front engine up, or the whole front of the car off, just to change a headlight out. To me, that is a horrible design. It's done. I mean, who needs to pay $300 to have a headlight put in, or headlight bulb, right? That's insanity. It's insanity. Sorry, I'm going on a tangent. That's because but anyways, that's why I was drinking. I just decided that, you know, I've had a couple sleepless nights. I needed to relax. I needed to kind of get my head right. I was getting a little loopy, and you know, that's what I needed to do. So I did get Cameron's stuff out there to you guys. 911 called to the Wells house over 11 times. Okay, I just want to put that in perspective. 911 has been called to that dirty Wells property over 11 times in the last few years for domestic violence, kids drinking alcohol. Now, when you hear kids drinking alcohol, you typically think 15, 16, 17-year-old children or kids, teenagers drinking alcohol. These are kids that are most likely under 11 years old drinking alcohol. And then when the parents, the other kids' parents are called, by one of the siblings saying, hey, they're drinking here. The parents are trying to come get their children, and Candus is refusing to provide them the address to come pick up their kids. So basically keeping their young kids under the influence of alcohol in their home. Makes you wonder why Don and Candus are feeding these children alcohol. Also, on Marissa's page, or Marissa's channel, Molly Go Lightly, she played some 911 calls. We got 911 dispatch calls on the phone, and these are things that are happening at 1 o'clock in the morning. Children are crying in the background. They're fighting. Don Wells at this point is nice and calm because he knows she's on the phone with the law enforcement. He doesn't want to go to jail. He's trying to, talk to her. She's got another man in the house. He was not expected home and just shows up, and he shows up drunk. Now he's ready to kick everybody's butt. And, she's having an affair on him with this Jose guy. Her mom wants this Jose guy. Her mom ends up taking this Jose guy back over to North Carolina. It's a whole, shit show, and Jerry Springer on steroids over there at the top of that mountain. And, Tennessee had an opportunity. The CPS had an opportunity to get these kids out of that environment and chose to keep them in the environment. And now Summer Wells is gone. Summer Wells is gone. Who do we blame? CPS has been involved in this crap show for a little minute, and I kind of am starting to blame them. It shouldn't have come to this. I don't know if they were just overwhelmed, didn't want to deal with it, if it's backwoods and they deal with this all the time. Listen, if this is the kind of conduct parents are having with their kids, take the kids away from them. You don't keep them in that home because you don't want to pull the kids out of that home. If they're being abused, they're being abused. Psychological abuse is just as bad as physical abuse. Keep going. So I'm going through some of this stuff here. Our team has been working really hard around the clock, trying to find out answers going on. So some of the people in the community over there in Tennessee and Rogersville, here's what one of them commented to one of our investigators. You are so welcome. No one in the community that I know associated with them unless you are just like them. I'd say it's safe to say that they only interact with a few on Ben Hill. That has been known to be the party area for several years, i.e., drugs, alcohol, child neglect, and endangerment. Again, chargeable offenses. Shame on Hawkins County for not taking these people into custody related to the neglect and child endangerment alone. Those are still chargeable offenses, folks. The statute of limitations has not ran out on that. So where are the handcuffs? These people don't deserve to smoke another crack pipe up there on that mountain. They don't deserve to have another high or get another drunk in them or have another smile on their face. They don't. No one knew these kids was living in such filth. Wells did attend all but 7-8 churches within a few mile radius for donations, food, clothing, and hygiene items. So he was working full time He has very minimal bills, and he cannot afford food, clothing, or hygiene items for his family. I heard that one of the deacons at Solomon's Temple asked Don to try to find him help for his addictions. John blew up and said, "Fuck you, bunch of Baptists." They never came back for any more donations by this awesome fellowship. This is the kind of despicable man Kitty and cracking cases is protecting. As for the people saying you would be shot, blah, 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 that is not 99.99999999999% of this community now. Not that part of the community. So now 20, 25 years ago, that may have been the case when people were running at, and a lot of people don't understand that people were running moonshine out of that area. Quite frankly, I don't care. Even if they were running moonshine, I don't give a rat's ass whether they're running moonshine or not. You know what I'm saying? I'm not there for their moonshining business. I'm not there to cause them problems. I'm there to look for a 5-year-old missing child. This community had a thing. If you come here looking for trouble, you will find it and give you all you can stand. Laugh out loud. Those mean boys are either dead, done their time, or back in the community as old men. Yes, back then there was a vigilante type of justice. As for Candus Grandis being the ringleader of Beach Creek, she's not. She's no longer the shot caller there. She may be the leader of the 110 Ben Hill Road up there on the hill. But no, the vigilantes would show themselves if they were true. I think most would talk. I keep going. I think most would talk with you, cook you dinner, and give you some sweet iced tea. That was our experience up there. People were very nice. They weren't creepy people. They weren't awful people. They were very nice, sweet people. And it really upsets me that people on YouTube and the internet act like, this place is so despicable and they have no couth and no morals and, just really ragging. Can you imagine you being a good, godly person, loving your community, and you go online and hear that you're the kind of person that would shoot somebody if they stepped foot on your property, and you don't want to help, a 5-year-old, missing 5-year-old. You don't want to help find a missing, just despicable stuff. And that's what these people are saying about this community. It's horrible. This community needs tourism. They need, people coming to their shops, people coming to their stores. A lot of these people have, small businesses, and you're giving them a rap like that, terrifying anybody from ever visiting that community. That's not right. You're taking food out of those people's mouths, and they're good, decent people. How dare you? How dare you? Okay, let's see here. We were a good community even 20 years ago. If a neighbor needed help, this whole community would get it done, whatever they needed, whatever the need may be. That was our experience. These people were nice, good, wholesome people. All you experienced from Kitty and cracking cases on Ben Hill is not us locals. So these people, the locals, are reaching out to us, apologizing for these people that came in from out of town's behavior. Think about that, folks. Think about that. The community is reaching out to us and apologizing to us for the behavior of cracking cases and Kitty causing all that chaos on Ben Hill Road. Rogersville, we hear you, and we know who the culprit was. We know you're not bad people. We would never put you in bad light on our show. I can tell you that. We will never put you in bad light. Our experience there was wonderful. The people were gracious. The people were kind. That is our experience, and we appreciate that. And everybody wants to find answers about this 5-year-old child. Everybody. Everybody. Yes, if you love this channel, please like, share, and subscribe. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if you're feeling generous, please donate. We do have real costs at this show. We do have real costs. Let's keep going. They represent Wisconsin, Utah, Texas, Virginia. Cam and Allie organized that fiasco. I know that Don has been over in the Light Holler doing donuts on their road when he's drunk. Light Holler Road is their road. Light Holler Road. As you are approaching Hawkins County line, you are approaching the Let's see. Sorry, my eyes are messed up. Light Holler Road. As you are approaching Hawkins County line, that road is on the left across from the road at the Light Cemetery. They will talk. I've seen them on the Facebook discussing Don's behavior. I think Junior Light and his wife would talk. Sorry, I didn't realize. I thought that was a road. I wouldn't throw somebody's name up there like that. They live in oh, no, not doing that either. Okay. So Don Candus on Ben Hill is not us locals. They do not represent us. And of course I said Cam and Allie. Let me see, Light Holler. I get past all this personal information. It's not my intention. I'm not trying to. They live. So they believe that these people would talk if those other jerks weren't in town. So the other jerks that they're talking about are Kitty and cracking cases. So Kitty and cracking cases actually hindered the investigation that we were having to find a 5-year-old kid. So I just want everybody to think about that. Yes, I did, Carla. I did hear that. Olivia broke that last night. She wasn't sure if it was true or not. I think he's starting to set himself up. I think he knows. I think he's going to break, guys. I think Don's about to break. He's realizing his life is spiraling out of control. His daughter is dead. His wife had something to do with it. He's starting to look like a despicable man. He was up there on that hill with Kitty doing all types of drugs and alcohol and drinking. And, Kitty wasn't there. Kitty wasn't there for help. He was there to party with them and have a good time and keep people away from the case, keep people from searching for a 5-year-old girl. And his cult followers are supporting his behavior. His cult followers are supporting his behavior. Also, a friend was supposed to adopt Summer and give her a good home. They met with Don and Candus, but ended up not going through with it because Don and Candus wanted more money. My friend wouldn't give them it, so they canceled the adoption. So Summer was going to have a beautiful, wonderful home. The pieces of shit Don and Candus Wells were going to give her up because Candus did not want girls. Candus did not want girls. And she hated and despised Summer Wells. Many people do not know that. We are finding that out. We are finding people very close to that family telling us intel. Candus did not want that child. And she's dead. She's gone and she's dead. I truly do believe. And I truly do believe Candus Wells had something to do with it. When I started this investigation, I thought Don was the despicable one. I thought Don was the one that did. He's a despicable person, anyways. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't want to say that he's not despicable. I think the man is despicable. He should have been in prison a long time ago. They should have thrown the keys away. He does not deserve to be walking this earth. And now he has the opportunity to start going into rehab and, doing these things. He's a despicable man. Kitty was up there on the top of that mountain doing drugs with them. That's why Kitty was crying on the way home, because he's coming down off his high. He's a disgusting, despicable person, and his followers funded it. He did not do one thing, not one thing to help find Summer, only to hinder people that were. That's nice of your friends to have wanted to adopt her. I know. I was shocked when she told me that they wanted to give Summer a good home and they couldn't have children of their own biologically. The police came to talk to them when this whole case got started. She said Don and Candus right at the end asked for money, and my friend didn't have that kind of money. And then Don and Candus said, we changed our minds. We're going to keep her. It sounds like they're having an argument over a dog. A dog. I want you to look at Summer's face. Does that girl look happy? Does that little girl look happy? That little girl has a sad, can you see it? She does not look like a happy young woman, a happy young child. Look at that face. She doesn't look happy. Most of the time kids are in photos. They're smiling. They look like they're having a good time. So getting down to this, we were able to reach out to, as many people know, in Wisconsin. Yeah, she does look stressed. Exactly. Photos lie, all of them photos they put up. I never believed they were a happy family. I haven't either. For those who want to know who Kitty is, that's a crazed lunatic from Texas. We're no longer calling him BTK. We're no longer calling him BK. I will show you all, get you up to speed and show you the video of why I call him Kitty, because he's a little kitty. So. I don't know what that means, to be honest with you. I don't know if that was disrespectful or what. So, Voice for the Voiceless, I love you. I think the work that you do, I mean, people don't realize Voice for the Voiceless. A lot of these people were feeding us information while we're there. And, you may not like tactics. You may not like who they are personally. You may not even like me. I mean, I really don't care. We're out there trying to find a 5-year-old girl. And any kind of petty BS needs to check itself at the door. We are dealing with real people's lives, real people's family, and I don't have time for pissing contests, to be honest with you. I don't have time for ego issues. Okay? These are real families. These are real people. We're dealing with a 5-year-old child. I don't know. Again, I didn't quite understand that. I don't know if you were making a stab at me, making a stab at the other people, that work with me or what, but I hope you realize that this is about a 5-year-old child that's missing and presumed dead. We're trying to find her. We're trying to find who did this, and any kind of ego issues, any kind of dislikes need to be checked at the door, because we are here for a common good. And if you can't get past the pettiness, there's nothing I can do for you. Now, again, I may have misread that. May not be anything that I was saying because, I'm half asleep here. I'm doing the best I can. It's 6:30 in the morning. I've got to leave here and drop my car off at 9 o'clock this morning, which I'm kind of excited. It's one of those things. It's bittersweet, right? I'm kind of excited about it, but I'm nervous as hell because I don't know what they're going to find. It scares the bejeebers out of me. So anyways, we got to talk to, many people don't realize Candus had another relationship in Wisconsin where she had 2 children. Those 2 children were taken from her. And we talked to a family member. Who is this? It looks like the gentleman that she had these children with, his name was Andrew. And this was 18 plus years ago. So she had children very young. This guy was, I think he was much, much older than Candus was. And Candus had 2 children with him. Believe it or not, these kids that she had 18 to 20 years ago, the home environment was no different than the home environment that she put these kids through. So it was the exact same. It was all you did was just replace the man, right? Instead of it being Andrew, it's Don. He's much older than Candus. This Andrew was much older than Candus. They had kids. Don and her had kids. They fought because of drugs and alcohol with the 2 kids in Wisconsin. Don and Candus are arguing all the time for drugs and alcohol now. Nothing is different. This woman had 2 children taken from her. We found out from a relative of Andrew's that doesn't talk to him very much, but had all the information needed to talk to us about this. What is this, Andrew? It's going to be okay. Yes, I know, right? I'm praying my car is going to be cheap too, but it's probably not. But that's okay. I walk in faith. But people don't realize she had these 2 kids. They were taken away from her custody. Andrew acts like he never had children. If people ask him if he has kids, he says no because he won't even tell them that he had them removed from his custody. He tells them that he's never had children before. Her kids are suffering now, even after all these years. One was adopted. We found out her daughter, which I don't understand why these mothers name one of their first daughter Candus. I guess that must be because Candus, the grandmother, named Candus the daughter Candus, and Candus the daughter named her daughter Candus as well. It's weird, isn't it? It's weird. So anyways, her other children from Wisconsin, from 18 years ago are grown. Her daughter is living on the streets, or at least was a few months ago or a year ago. So within the last year, living on the streets, struggling. She's struggling. Her Candus doesn't give a crap. Candus never even tried to get custody of these children back. Just like her and Don aren't really trying to get custody of their children back. If you're really trying to get custody of your children, you're not going to be partying with some felon from Texas. We heard on the recorded call, obviously she's got meth problems, and Don Wells has crack cocaine problems. One of the fights just a few short months ago, she's on the phone with the police, calling them. The kids are all screaming and crying in the background. You hear Sweet Summer's voice, not knowing what's going on. It was sad to hear. It was despicable. Both parents just drunk, fist fights going on in the house, outside, in grandma's camper. This is the kind of environment that these children were living in. Other men in the house, no locking doors. Kids are probably walking in on mom, having sex with other men. This is the lifestyle these children were living in. Trash everywhere, drugs being done in the house, alcohol being used in the house, just despicable, deplorable things. The kids being drugged and alcohol so they can go to sleep while mom does whatever she wants to do. This is the kind of environment these kids lived in. And then you got people that are sympathizing with them, that are believing this story that they had nothing to do with the disappearance and most likely the death of their daughter. Now, Don Wells, shortly after we come there and start peppering him with hard-hitting questions, decides to check himself into rehab. People try to say that we're not effective. That we're not effective. I tell you, our team is pretty damn effective. We broke the laundry parents. They went out and showed us where their son was within 30 minutes. We directed people to find Kathleen Moore's body. And now we drove Don Wells into rehab. But we're not effective. He knows we know. I think Don is going to break soon. I think the reality is starting to hit Don Wells. I really do. I think he watches our channels. I think he knows we're tearing their entire story apart publicly. We're showing who they truly are. We're pulling back the curtains. That is a house of horrors on the top of that mountain. And as we pull this curtain back, you know, we're also exposing the DCF or Child Protective Services in that area for their lack of concern for these children. I don't want to do it, but the truth is the truth. They had every opportunity to remove these kids from the home, and they did not. And because of their, I don't know, incompetence, Summer is gone and most likely dead. And that's something the state of Tennessee is going to have to deal with. And, you know, I hope a guardian ad litem sues the state on Summer's behalf. I really do. Let's set up a fund to help children, abused children, maybe provide them a safe place to live or something like that. But I think a guardian ad litem, because the Wells parents, she has, you know, these parents are despicable. So in this conversation with this person close, her uncle is the guy that was with Candus, and both Candus and her this girl's uncle lost these kids. Neither one of them tried to get them back. Their lives were filled with drugs and alcohol. She does not know if her uncle is still using. She doesn't talk to her uncle very much. Her uncle is being Andrew. They were both in and out of jails for domestic violence in Wisconsin, and that is the reason the drugs, the alcohol, and the domestic violence charges and the jail is what got their first set of kids taken away. She did have an opportunity to speak with Candus, the granddaughter, you know, the one that she had with Andrew. Like I said, it's kind of hard because we got three Canduses here, right? Grandis is Candus Wells, Summer's mom is Candus, and Candus's oldest daughter is Candus. So we've got three Canduses here, which is really confusing, and it's kind of hard to explain. But they lost the kids due to them always fighting and ending up in jail. They didn't change. They didn't change or work toward getting them back, so they ended up being adopted. Yes, Candus and Andrew lost both of their kids together, which they're named Candus and Andrew. Candus, the daughter, the older daughter up in Wisconsin, wanted to reach out to her dad, but her dad always believed and told everyone he didn't have kids. So I don't know if he just didn't want to admit he lost them or what, but he's not all there either. Drugs do crazy things to people, and I believe that that used to be the life he lived and maybe still does. Who the heck knows? I talked to the daughter Candus when she reached out to me about a month ago looking for contact information for her father, and we probably talked 10 minutes, and she asked me if I knew how they ended up adopted, and I told her because of domestics, which she was never told that growing up. So I think she was sad to hear she was lied to her whole life. She did not ask to reach out to her mother. She only wanted her father's information. She didn't seem very stable in her life. She was homeless like a year ago, she said. This cycle repeats itself. So in order for you to break the cycle, you have to break the cycle. And it's really sad that this has happened, and then this other Candus is probably living a rotten lifestyle. And when she has kids, the cycle just never breaks. It never breaks until somebody steps up to the plate and says, I never want to be like my parents, and breaks the cycle. That's what it takes. This girl had no idea who Don Wells was. She did not realize that he had such a violent and criminal past, 30 years criminal in multiple states, well over 30 arrests. So for people that don't know. She says Candus wouldn't, that she doesn't believe Candus would do anything to her own kids, but then again, she never tried to get back her first two kids. And as far as her own mother, why is she living in a camper on their property? Good questions. It looks like the area in Wisconsin we are looking for more information for. If anybody want to reach out, if you guys know Candace Harrer or Candace Bly, or her sister that disappeared. It appears that they are from Bennett or Polk County. So I'm looking for people from Bennett or Polk County that may have some information related to Candus Harrer and Candace Bly, which is now Candus Wells, the mother and grandmother of missing girl Summer Wells. Yes, there is an uncle. Candus Harrer, the grandma, Grandis, is her brother was charged with multiple, I want to say half dozen to a dozen incest charges. The incest charges, it means exactly what it means. Incest. So he's been charged multiple times with incest. He was found guilty of the charges and not guilty because of mental defect. So there is mental illness on both sides of this family, father's side and mother's side of Summer Wells. There's sexual deviation on both father's side and mother's side of Summer Wells. Candus has already had one set of children that she ruined their life for the rest of their life, taken away from her in Wisconsin. She allowed drugs and alcohol to rule her life. She didn't care about her children in Wisconsin, and she doesn't care about her children in Tennessee. This woman has been reportedly, by eyewitness testimony, saw slapping and hurting Summer Wells on multiple occasions. She allowed the boys to go into the convenience store and get candy and refused to allow Summer to get candy with her brother. And if she threw a temper tantrum, her mother would beat her and hold her hands and scream at her in front of everybody. She tortured this child. She humiliated this child. And we are finding out all this information in our investigation. So this idea that she had nothing to do or wouldn't hurt her own daughter is hogwash. She didn't even want her to begin with. She tried to adopt her. She, because they were drug addicts and wanted money, the family that could have adopted her and given her a great home was unable to come up with the money. And so the Don Wells and Candus Wells chose to keep her. Candus did not want, it is well known from very close friends and family of Donald and Candus Wells that she did not want a girl. She tried to give Summer up multiple times to multiple different people. And Don Wells was not having it. He wanted the money or he wanted to keep her. It sounded like they treated her like an animal, even before she was born. It's sad. Summer never had a chance. You're right, Moon. She never had a chance. But the good news is since CPS in Tennessee was too incompetent to save Summer, at least Summer was able to save her brothers. So we need to look at the silver lining of this whole scenario. I do not anticipate finding Summer alive. I'm hoping that Don Wells goes in and finally gets the help he needs and breaks this case. Good morning, everyone. But now that Don is going into rehab, I really don't think we're finding Summer alive. This is I think he's starting to know that we know the truth. I think he knows that we're getting too close. I think he's realizing his days are numbered. And I think he's doing damage control and covering his own ass. I think he's going to make sure that Candus is held responsible. He's going to try to distance himself and absolve him of his crimes. But we know darn well he helped after the fact, and you can be charged with accessory after the fact. And none of these people need to be out of jail. The grandmother needs to go to jail. The mom needs to go to jail, and Don needs to go to jail, and they don't need to come back out of jail for a really long time. I'm hearing Don is not in rehab. How did we hear the information that Don was in rehab? Can somebody answer that? Amy? Amy, can you reach out to me and explain that to me? Because we're hearing mixed information that somebody said he went to rehab. If that's not true, I'd like to know. I'd like to know. It was another prank on Mary. What does that mean? Somebody says he's not in rehab. Hold on here. Slow down the chat, please. Slow down the chat. Slow down the chat. Hold on. Slow down the chat. I got to go read some comments. Slow down on the chat. If you guys are not talking about the rehab, please stop communicating on the chat for a minute. So it sounds like Scam, which is what they call Cam with cracking cases, said he's in rehab. Hold on here. Don is not in rehab. I believe he's passed out on the hill, honestly. Rehab is a method convicts use to avoid and delay arrest. However, Donnie going to rehab is a rumor. Amy, it says Ziggy live last night, had a neighbor go check on him last night. What was did they find him last night? Was he at the house? He told his mom, who told Mary, but it was confirmed to be a prank. It's only a rumor just because he's been so quiet. He hasn't been quiet to me. And when we were up there, we got him on 2 phone interviews. He failed to reach out. He failed to meet us in person, left us stranded. Mary is the sister. So, yep, Don pranked his sister. So he has no... so obviously he acknowledges his drug problem. Obviously he acknowledges the fact that he needs to go into rehab. And if this is one of his stepsisters, we all know that they, and I hope they do, if they haven't already, start pressing charges for things that he may have done. It's very sad. I commend his stepsisters. I don't know if Mary is one of them. If she is, I do commend what they're doing and standing up and speaking up. People are saying his phone was off yesterday. Kitty said not in rehab, if you can believe him. Yeah, I don't believe anything Kitty says, not one word. He always pulls pranks on his sister. I mean, going to rehab, How is that a prank? How is that a prank? That sounds like a flat out lie because he's trying to say that he's not on drugs anymore or trying to get help for his drugs. It's not a prank. That's a flat out lie. How is that a prank? A neighbor was on Ziggy last night and went to the house. He was home drinking. Yeah, and let me just read this. Don, I know you watch me. If you tell everything, law enforcement will go light on you. But this charade that you're trying to absolve yourself from is not happening. We know Candus did something to that poor child and you're covering it up. We know that. It's just a matter of time. They will find Summer. They will find Summer. You're not that clever. They will find her. And even if they don't, they can prosecute without the body. So do yourself a favor. Don't protect that sick woman. You should have been in jail a long time ago. Your daughter would still be alive. You're a despicable human being. Do something good for the love of God. One thing in your life good. Stand up for your own daughter. Stand up for your own daughter. I still don't see how going to rehab's a prank. I really don't. To me, it sounds like they are lying to the family so they look better than they are. They're pieces of garbage. They're garbage, folks. They're garbage. They're horrible, despicable people. They should be in jail. And you know what? We are going back. We are going back. But we're not applying pressure to the Wells. The Wells aren't worth our time. They're pieces of garbage. We're going to TBI. We are bringing a lot of people with us. If you guys are in Tennessee, we're going to TBI the 7th through the 11th. We're going to be holding up signs demanding justice for Summer. We are going to break this case down on the bullhorn. We're not going to be despicable. We're not yelling at law enforcement, but we do want to be heard. We want to fight for Summer. We want to fight for Summer's voice because her parents aren't doing it. They don't care what happened to her. Well, they know what happened to her. That's why they're not fighting. How many times has Don picked up the phone and called the police department to ask what's going on in the investigation of his own child? Probably none. How many times has Candus picked up the phone to call law enforcement to find out what's going on in the investigation? Probably none. Probably none, because they don't want this investigation going forward because both of them would be in handcuffs and locked away for a very long time. So we're going down there. We're going to fight for Summer. If we've got to build this case for for law enforcement, that's exactly what we'll do. I've got enough information here. I can set out a timeline. I can tell you what they can be arrested for right now, just based on it hasn't even been statute of limitations yet. DUI, they can get them for more DUIs throughout here. How about batteries? Start prosecuting them for this. There's so much more. Child neglect, child endangerment. Where are these charges? The statutes of limitations has not run out on many of these charges. Multiple counts. Multiple counts. They didn't even have a door on the bathroom. That means every time mom brought in a strange guy that she was having an affair with behind Don's back, if he had to use the bathroom, the kids are being able to watch him use the bathroom, his junk and all. Child endangerment, indecent exposure. There's chargeable offenses. They could be up on that mountain bringing a wealth of charges against Don Wells and Candus Wells right now. And they're able to stay up there and use their drugs and laugh and still enjoy life without their daughter that Candus never even wanted. In one of the comments, she says Don leaves her there for 4 months at a time, and she's stuck there taking care of these kids. These kids. Doesn't sound like a loving mother, does it? It sounded like those kids were a burden to her. And now they're just living it up. They got no responsibilities whatsoever. So it looks like Don was at the house last night. So maybe the rumor, and he was drunk, of course. So it looks like he is not in rehab. Looks like he's not in rehab, folks. He likes making people look bad by putting out false information. So that's his real motive. That's his real motive right there. You got a 5-year-old child missing, and you'd rather play these games, Don. You're just nailing your own coffin closed. I mean, people that are missing children don't act this way. They don't. Your own behavior is screaming volumes to law enforcement as well as the rest of the world. We even got, like right now, he could be arrested for hanging out with felons. He's on probation. He's not allowed to hang out with felons. Where's our law enforcement in Tennessee? What the hell are you guys doing? Get your ass out there and get these people locked up. Sick. What is wrong with this county? Scared of your own shadow? So anyways, like I said, we feel like law enforcement is missing a lot of great opportunities. I'm going to skip a lot of the comments because I got to get back down to this stuff. We now know that Don Wells, it looks like Voice for the Voiceless, sent somebody over there to check to see if Don Wells was in rehab or not. He's not in rehab. He was home drunk last night. So you've got children missing. You got a child missing, and, your boys have been ripped from your custody and you're home boozing it up instead of trying to fight to get your kids back. And these are the people that Kitty is protecting. And he was trying to obstruct us and intimidate us from trying to find answers in Summer Wells. I think Kitty knows these people did it. I really do. I don't think he cares, and I think he's trying to help them get away with it for ratings and money. Kitty's a sick individual. And I think, with his violence and stuff like that, I hope Marissa takes that video of him and, sends it to Texas so they can start opening an investigation on his children. He does not need to be around kids. He does not need to be breeding kids himself. He needs to be in jail. He's a sicko. Look into the quitclaim deed. Dig deeper. I will. Why do you feel I need to dig deeper, Amy? Grandma T says, I think Cam and Allie know too. Sick. They have children. Sad. It's sad. Yes, Kitty needs karma slap in his face. We no longer call BTK or BK, Benny Keys. We call him Kitty because he's just let me just say it, he's a pussy. And we've got, I'm going to roll the footage. I'll roll the footage. I'll roll the footage for you folks. Give me a second. Now, I am going to say there's strong language in here. There's a lot of cursing. So if there are young children around you, please remove them. You do what you want. They can stay. It's just that, some parents don't like the cursing and stuff like that. But I'm going to go ahead and play the tape.
Why are you going to call the police? Why? What are you afraid of? No, I'm not. I want to see you. All right, enough with the stupid laughing. You sound like a fucking moron. Listen, you're someone that talks a lot of fucking shit, and you're backing down.
Let me talk to your kid.
Okay, I'm on my way to your room.
Your kid just has a mind of his
Tell
own.
me on my way to the room.
If you think that I won't roll up on your fucking room, you're sorely mistaken.
Tiny,
You think you're fucking tough? Let me talk. Let me talk. Let me talk, because I'll fucking call that all fucking night. I'm not paying you anything. You're worthless. You are fucking worthless. You are a worthless human that lives in a fucking garage. You're a deadbeat dad. You're a fucking junkie. And you've never accomplished a thing in your fucking mouth. And you're jealous of a fucking woman. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. I want to meet you, and I'm going to fucking knock you upside the head. I'm going to knock you upside the head. Yeah, don't you call me fucking bitch, all right? You better shut your my mom's a fucking bitch? Your mother, you know something about your mother? Your mother should have swallowed you when she had the chance. Because you know what? You're a fucking embarrassment. You're an, okay, I'm the man. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay. Yeah, okay. Right. You're all clowning and you want money. You're just showing yourself. You're a fool. You're a fool. You're a fucking joke.
What are you talking? You know you're in trouble, right, for taking that shit out of that show.
What do you mean taking? What shit did I take?
We have her on video.
Get the fuck out of here taking shit. No. Hey, listen, motherfucker. I want to fucking roll up on you. I will roll up on you. Do you hear me?
What'd you say?
I will roll up on you and get right into your fucking face. Don't fucking even try it. I've done it before. I will fucking do it. Are you daring me? Are you fucking daring me? You don't want to fucking dare me, because I will be fucking psychotic. I will fucking fuck you up. I know where you're at. Listen, I got the upper fucking hand. You better cut the fucking bullshit. You know what? No. Why don't you shut the fuck up and listen for a second? No, I'm fucking talking. You don't ever fucking talk to me like that. I will fuck you up. Grow up for a minute and listen to me.
If you had to pick between your dog or your chin, who would you choose?
Say, I'm on my way over.
I'm going over there. I'm going over there. Fuck it.
He's going over here. Hey, make sure to bring your chin with you.
He's scared. He'll be scared. Watch. He'll be like, oh, I gotta go. He's gonna go tell the manager. Oh, don't let them watch.
No, you're not.
No.
No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. No, we know you will. We're saying don't. Just don't. Let it roll.
We're trolling.
We're triggering you. Just let it trigger.
Look, he's gonna go to the manager and say, if this girl comes over, don't let her over. Watch. He's gonna bitch move. Watch.
Scared. Don't leave the room no matter what.
Somebody told him that?
Yeah.
Don't leave the room.
Hey, she hates that. Hey, that's her kryptonite. Now online, if you just talk about her chin like I do, just screen record what you've heard me saying about her chin and just use those things on her, and you can't lose. What do you mean, meet her? There's no way I would meet that bitch.
See, he's scared.
No way I would meet her.
He's just telling you he's going to knock you the fuck out if he sees you, but now he's telling you there's no way he'd meet you.
I'm not calling no police.
He's going to go to the
Hell no, I ain't calling no police. We'll call police afterwards. Rin chinny chin 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 chin.
He has to be in his mind wondering how they know where I was at.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he's panicking. Just let him calm down. He's going to be out, but he's going to hit him.
Quiet, pretty quick.
Look, he's going to go down there and tell the manager.
Yep. Boom.
He's telling the manager.
He's so predictable, Penny. You're such a bitch.
Knocked by the hair on my chinny chin chin.
And it's so hilarious because
Oh, that was funny.
we used you as bait.
He's going to tell them, yo, there's a woman here. I want to let you know there's a woman that's going to come.
Is he really?
No, let's see what he
I
does.
told
Let's
you,
just follow what he does.
Jonathan knows. He's got the sixth sense.
He's going to go down there, and then he's going to be like, yo, there's going to be a crazy girl that might come in. You might want to call
for
the
just a
cop.
minute.
And then he's just, damn right, I'm snitching. You know,
Stay chinned up.
See? I just
Stay
said,
chinned in the
I
game.
know this guy's behavior. Look, he's going to tell.
So predictable.
So predictable.
Can you
You
imagine trying
realize
to
we can
swim
toy with
dragging
you
that
anytime
fucking
we
thing?
want to because we
It's like
know
an anchor.
exactly what you do and how you think and how you. That's the gifts we have.
I am a great
You
interviewer.
can't be us.
I'm multifaceted.
Now he's
You're
gonna be worried about
predictable.
checking out of the hotel too.
Man, look at
He's
here.
not
I'm
staying
jealous
there.
of that chin. You know, in some countries, like women, they're really drawn to the chins.
He's gonna tell the manager
Oh,
because
shit.
there's a woman here
The
that's gonna be
chinster. She's so chintzy.
She's not in the room, but answer the door naked.
I don't know. There's somebody in the loop here. Yeah, somebody gave her the room number. Yeah.
He knows.
Yep. For sure. Well, we can fix that pretty quick, can't we?
Yeah, I need the room. I need my rooms. Let's
Look at this shit.
Predictable Benny. Predictable Benny.
While he was
They are looking for your arrest. Haven't done nothing. Why do y'all keep saying that? You got to do something to get arrested. You do know that, right? Like somebody just can't spin off the YouTube for a minute. It's crazy that we're in true crime, and some of y'all think just because somebody tells you that they're going to have somebody arrested, that actually works, right?
Where we just altered his little.
All right, what's the number again? I'm gonna call while he's down there.
Yeah. Wait till he gets on. Just don't call yet. He's not there yet.
Remember, it's got lag, so I mean, this is.
Let's just wait till he's there. He's gonna talk to the manager.
It's gonna be funny.
Not yet. Oh no. No.
Not yet.
No, hang up.
Wait until
Hang
he gets
up.
to the room
Hang up.
or gets to the
Hang
manager.
up. Just wait till he gets there.
He might have clicked off.
I know he's in the elevator going down, right? And that's why it's
Fuck Molly. He is so triggered. He is so triggered.
He's only got 200.
That's sad. He's a nobody, man.
I'll get you anytime somebody wants to dance with her. Okay.
Okay, call.
Somebody called, right?
Call.
He asked because I'm here on official business with the Wells family. And what you did is you just gave my number to a bunch of professional protesters.
Hey, they give me your number. I just rang your room. They don't know your room.
Right, but I mean, so I left a note to not do that.
I didn't give out any of your information. Somebody called and asked for your.
No, I asked Alicia's her name. I asked her yesterday when I checked in. I was like, no calls to my room.
Sir?
I'll make note of that.
Sir?
Can I change rooms now?
Hi, no, sir.
Yeah, this is an issue for you, man.
Sir?
I'll have a call.
Yeah, please have her call me. You got my number on file? Why don't you call me?
Hello?
She knows specifically.
Well, they should be able to call. I was just in the switchboard and I read.
This is really like they've been watching her harass me, threaten me. Let me tell you what.
That's right. Let me take care of this, and I will contact Alicia, and then we'll take care of it. I mean, I we'll do what we can.
What I'm saying is there's some people getting ready to show up here, so
Well, if trouble happens, I'll call the police.
okay, I guess that's the main thing. Like,
You're our guest. We're not going to let anybody harass you or bother you.
it's gonna be.
That's why we don't give out information to rooms. And they say, if I have a reservation, they call and say, if they get the guest name, we can ring the room. Like I said, let me take care of this guest right here and call the manager, and I'll see what I can do. All right. Thank you for holding. How can I help you?
Hi, do you have extra rooms for 2 people and separate room?
No, I'm sorry. We're booked up tonight.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Turn it up. Turn it up. Turn it up.
I can't change rooms.
Mr. Shoestrings.
He said
Making a lot of money off somewhere else.
How can
You can't change rooms.
Because they're booked.
No, he said they do got the room number, so I'm just gonna stand out here and wait for it. Fuck it, man.
Nice. Now hold. See, we just altered his whole, trigger. We just trolled
Oh,
him.
that's where the party's at, huh?
Trolled him, right? How's it feel about trolling Benny?
He's a fucking retard.
He
And
thinks
this is why you don't mess with
Don't
us.
mess with
We
us.
have a very good team here.
we
And you know what? We turned you into our little bitch today with the well, so we could do our job. And now we just turned you into another bitch in your own room.
I owned him. He's never gonna recover from
like
that
he's
one.
gonna be out there for a while, thinking you're there.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? That's just what you deal, right? Like right here in Kingsford, like this man ain't never heard of it. Not only that, but like he just didn't handle that too sweet, right? Like,
Aw,
yeah, man, he ain't handle that too sweet at all.
I can't.
Who are you? Katie. Oh shit! Y'all being stock like a motherfucker. Man. Hold on.
Crack.
And he went off.
He's scared. A girl came up and he got scared. Wow.
That's why we told you, no point in even going over there. We
No,
got
no, we already
Where's his head?
rattled.
Where is
He's
his
going to leave hotels.
That's crazy.
He's going to leave hotels after
I've
tonight.
got 3 off that. Which I'm at. 16 to 11. There's 19.
Oh yeah, I'm being stalked, all right.
There's 18. Oh, there's 19.
Oh man, shit.
Oh, Lord, bitch. Oh, God damn it. The one right, I didn't get it. There it is. Oh,
nobody told her not. So let me just go back. I realized I was muted. So what had happened is Jay for Justice. She didn't mean to. Nobody told her not to say that we were going. Benny has a hard on for Marissa. I don't know why. But at any rate, she accidentally said that we were going up to follow Summerwell's case. Marissa was going up there, and then this crazed lunatic from Texas starts talking mad crap. Never heard his name before. He has a really small following. I mean, I'm just building this channel. So in all fairness, I don't even know how many people I have. Let me just look. But he's been on his channel for a while. I think he's got 2,800 people now. Let's just see what he's got. Give me 2 shakes. So I've been building this channel. I mean, I've had this channel for a while, but it was local. I didn't really do anything. So he has about 3,000 subscribers. I think most of them is because of us talking about him. I don't think they're supporting him. I think that he's just a shit show. And they're waiting for him to break. I think his channel needs to be brought down, but either way. And he's been on there for quite some time. I've been on here for 28 days, and I've got over 4,000 subscribers just in 28 short days. He's been on there for a really long time and is just now cracking 3,000 subscribers. At any rate, he decided to involve himself in this when we were just going out there to find. He heard we were professional protesters from the Dirty Laundry. First of all, we're not professional protesters. Jonathan is an investigative journalist. I was a community activist before the laundries. I did a lot of stuff with the county and the state. politically. And I've used the bullhorn in the past for political purposes and everything like that. And, we were just monitoring because the Gabby Petito case was personal to us. We were just monitoring the case. And when Brian went on the run and we knew the parents had something to do with it and they were just clamming up and hiding like cowards, we decided to pressure them with a pressure campaign of bullhorns. We did, bullhorns for 5 minutes every hour on the hour in front of their home, which caused national attention to come to us, and where I got my name, Bullhorn Betty. And then we decided, our team, my email address is bullhornbetty@gmail.com, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. I do not bring political stuff in here, so I'm not going to answer any political questions. I don't think it's right. We do stuff. I don't think politics, race, ethnicity, or religion has anything to do with the work we do. And I do believe in God. That's what I can say at this time. But we help a lot of people. I don't want people discouraging us, with the political climate that's going on in this country, this day and age. So our focus is the victims and the victims' family. Unfortunately, we work with a lot of lovely families. But in this case, with Summer Wells, the family, the immediate family, are the main people of interest in this case, and they're not pushing this case forward. And it's very, very, very sad. So it's up to the public to push this case forward. It's up to the public to be the voice of Summer Wells, because the people that are supposed to be her voice are not being her voice and are probably most likely responsible for her disappearance and possible death. So, it's sad. It's just sad. This is the reality that we're waking up to today. Summer Wells, no matter what we do find out in the future, saved her brother's lives. It may have cost her hers to save her brother's lives, but I have from good accord and a good source that the boys are thriving. They're probably getting attention and love that they've never had before in their life, which is sad. And we, Summer is a hero, and she should be considered a hero to those boys. Those boys do not want to go back home. And we hope that they, live a good, wholesome, prosperous life. And my hope for those boys, I'm getting goosebumps as I say this. I really am. I mean, it's like down my legs everywhere. I do hope those boys, break their cycle. I hope they don't go to drugs and alcohol. I hope that the families that they're with love them, help them go on to have prosperous lives. I hope they go on to do great things. I hope they go on to teach others that just because you come from a bad upbringing, that you can turn your life around and have a good life and break the cycle of abuse, drugs, and alcohol. Thank you, Amy. Thank you. So I pray very hard that these boys get the life that they deserve, get the life that Summer deserved. We are Summer's army, all of us in this room that care, all of us on this channel that care about this young, beautiful girl. We pray that she's found safe, but we know that it's not the case. And it's hard. It's hard. She was a beautiful young, and just hearing, oh my God, I wanted to cry last night. I really did. Just hearing her sweet little voice in the background at 1 a.m. while her mom and her father are drunk and fighting and fist fighting and, strange guys in the house, and her saying, just stop it. Just stop it. It breaks your heart, folks. This is the reality. This is the reality for these children in that home. And you got people out there sympathizing with these jokers that they call parents, these despicable dirtbags. These dirtbags. These parents don't deserve to ever breed another child again. I hope they're locked away for a very long time. Even if we believe that she was abducted, it was because of the element they brought to the top of that mountain. It was their fault, no matter how you look at it. Even if you believe she was abducted, it's their fault. If it wasn't for the drugs and the alcohol and the fighting and the cops and the jails, going to jail all the time, Don Wells is a freaking criminal. He's a felon. Across multiple states, multiple arrests, 30-year criminal. Burglaries, drugs, alcohol. Now involved in the disappearance of his own daughter. And he's thinking it's a prank to tell people he's going to rehab. How is that a prank? As an admission that you're still on drugs. So at any rate, guys, it's about 7:30. I know many of, here on my side of town, and I know many of you guys got to get ready, go to work. I just wanted to come on here, reveal some of the new information that I had. I think you guys are beautiful people. New Zealand, I know I have people from all over the country in this chat right now. I just wanted to thank you, all over the world, rather. I wanted to thank you. We just got to keep fighting. We got to keep fighting. If you guys have any information, please reach out to 1-800-TBI-FIND, 1-800-TBI-FIND. If you have information or dirt on Donald Wells, Candus Wells, Candus Wells, or anybody else from the Dirty Wells cartel, please reach out to me with that information. We are exposing them every single day. We are going to expose and remove this curtain of these people being good, wholesome people. They are not. They are responsible for the disappearance of Summer Wells, and we want to find her. We want to find her. We need help finding her. If you know the whereabouts or have suspicion of the whereabouts of Don Wells, Candus Wells, or Candus Wells in and around the time of Summer's disappearance, I'm eager to hear about that. I need to build a timeline related to that. Anybody with information that can be beneficial in this case to help law enforcement, you're asked to reach out to 1-800-TBI-FIND, 1-800-TBI-FIND. Any other information, we want to hear it. We want to hear the stories. If you know anything, we want to expose this family. If you've seen Summer be abused, if you heard and saw Summer being provided drugs or alcohol, we want you to come on here. We will keep you secret. We will keep your identity confidential. We want the stories. We need the public to know who these people truly are. Some of them believe these are godly, wholesome people. They're not. They're despicable. They're the devil. They're the devil. They terrorize these children. Summer was not treated well in that home. Her dad was gone for months on end, and she was stuck with that despicable person that she called mom, that beat her and tormented her by buying candy for her brothers and forcing her to watch them eat candy while she couldn't have any. That's the kind of woman Candus Wells, Candus Bly / Wells is. Grandis was not even allowed to be around the kids. She had to stay in her camper. Why? Was it because she was too violent toward them? Things to think about, folks. This was not a good family. Yes. You don't help criminals. Shame on you, and you guys have a heavy price to pay for that. Again, folks, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate all the love and support. I will bring back, I will tell you, I know a lot of you guys are concerned about my car because we all believe Benny may have sabotaged it. Kitty, I don't want to use his name anymore. Kitty may have sabotaged my car, but we are going to find out today what all happened. We're going to pray that it was just, some maintenance that needed to be done on the car. I mean, the car is older. It's a 2011 and it has 138,000 miles on it. And yes, it ran like a champ until Wednesday of last week. And then we started having car problems, which it was, actually Thursday. So it was the night after we had that call at the hotel room. So it is possible it was payback for turning him into a little, kitty. So that's his new name, Kitty, because he's a little pussy. Excuse my language. So I love each and every one of you guys. Go make it a great day. Happy Monday. I hope I started your week off right. I know it's a sad day, but I hope that that Benny, those 2 Benny videos just made you guys laugh. And, maybe, in all this sadness, that was just a little bit of humor that you can take with you this Monday. So God bless everyone. Take it easy. We love you here. Without each of you, we wouldn't be able to do this. All right. I'm out of here. Love you guys.